Hi, I'm Joe, creator of Rhythm Generator and PolyNome, and I want to give you a very quick overview of Rhythm Generator. To begin with, you get 2 bars of a rhythm. You can just hit play at the bottom and it will play this rhythm for you. And you can hit the dice button to shuffle this rhythm and mix it up, get something different. You can long press on the dice button to choose auto shuffle after 1, 2, 3, or 4 cycles. So if we set this to 1, you'll see you get this at the top. And when I play, it's going to count through 1 repetition, and then you'll see that it automatically gives you a new pattern. So now we have a different pattern. So that gives you an endless reading canvas, essentially. And you can also tap on this to change the number of cycles or to turn it off. On the left, you have the tempo and metronome settings. You can turn off the metronome if you only want to hear the sound of the rhythm. And below that, you can choose the sounds of the bar and the beat markers, and you can choose the volume of those. So if you don't want to hear a different sound on the bar, you can just mute that there. And then to the right of the play button, you have a speaker which will mute or unmute the sound of the rhythm. So perhaps you want to work on just your reading. You can turn this off and have it play through, and you can try and read this. And then if you want to check if what you are playing was correct, you can unmute the volume and hear it played back. You can also long press on this button to choose default mode or read first or listen first. So in read first, the first repeat is silenced, so you can try reading it. It says read at the top, and then it plays it back so that you can hear how it sounds. And then it moves on to the next bar and does the same. And listen first is obviously the opposite of that, where you hear it first and then it silences it. And you can use listen first mode if you want to practice your ear training, so you're not looking at the screen, you're just listening to a rhythm and then playing it back. Or you can use it as a kind of call and response, where it plays a rhythm and you play something in response to that rhythm. Now you can also, in the settings, which we'll get to next over here, change, if we go down to read first mode. At the moment the default is single bar, but if you change this to full pattern, then it will play both bars as a read, so you don't hear it. So it plays through the whole pattern, and then on the repeat of the pattern, it's listen mode. So you can work on that if you want to train yourself listening to 2-bar or longer phrases and repeating those. So let's go back into the pattern settings and have a quick look through here. So difficulty level. Level 1 is quarter notes and 1/8 notes. Level 2 introduces basic 16th notes, which is groups of 4 16th notes. Level 3 introduces offbeat 1/8 notes. So you can work your way down the levels here, basic 1/8 and 16th combinations. When you get to level 5, you need a subscription to play those back. And you also have custom option here. And here you can choose whether you want quarter note rests or quarter notes featured in there, or none of those. You've got the 1/8 note options, you have 16th note options, and these are divided into all 16ths, 1 note permutations, and you can quickly turn all of those on if that's all you want to work on. And I'll show you in another video, you can use this to very quickly create an auto displacing click. You can view the 2 note combinations and the 3 note combinations. And then we've got quarter note triplets, 1/8 note triplets, mixed 16ths and triplets here, and you have sextuplets, 32nd notes, 1/8 quintuplets, 16th quintuplets, 1/8 septuplets, and 16th septuplets. So that's all there is for now. You can turn them all on, which is going to be a crazy reading challenge, or clear them all and then quickly just turn on all of the sextuplet options or all of the 16th options, for example. So we'll go back and we'll look at the pattern section here. You can choose the time signature, which is pretty much anything that you want. Choose the number of bars of rhythm to display on the page. So it defaults to 2, but we could set this to 4 or 8 or more. Play each bar once, so you can repeat each bar multiple times. And then auto shuffle, which is the same thing we saw when we long pressed on the dice. You can choose to auto shuffle after a certain number of cycles. And in the pattern settings, that can be a larger number. And then you can have a 1 or 2 bar count in. And then the type here defaults to random. So that is picking from those note options and choosing random ones to fill out the pattern. If you go to training mode, you have ordered and shuffled. So we'll start by looking at training ordered. So you'll see it plays each selection from our difficulty level or custom note options for a whole bar, so you can really drill each different rhythm. So we've got 4/16ths, and then the first quarter note, the second 16th, third 16th, and 4/16th, and then we also had the 2 beat permutations. So it's working through each of those and playing them each for 1 bar. Now, if you go to random training mode, shuffle training mode, you'll see here that ordered training mode sets the bars of rhythm for you, and it sets it to the number of options that you selected, I think up to a maximum of 32. If you do shuffle training mode, you get a bar of each note group, but it's in a random order. So every time you hit the dice button, you'll get a different note group played for a full bar. So the training element of it is the fact that it plays it for a full bar. So let's go back into pattern settings, and then you can customize the sound for the rhythm. So you can choose from various drums and percussion and clicks here. So little tip, if you wanted to use the 16th note permutations as a click to play through to instead of a rhythm to kind of play along to, you could just choose a click sound in here and mute the metronome and then use the rhythm as your click, essentially. You also have a playback feel option, and you can choose from triplet swing, 16th swing, 16th triplet swing, or quintuplet swing. And you also get this slider so you can go anywhere in between those. Now 100% swing in this case is moving the offbeat note all the way to the next downbeat. So 100% moves the offbeat 8th note all the way onto the next quarter note, which means that you have every variation of swing available in here. And you have to choose whether you're swinging offbeat 8th notes or offbeat 16th notes. So let's turn that back off. And then finally you have display settings. So here you can choose light or dark mode. You can choose whether to highlight the current note or not, or the current bar or not. So some people don't like to see the notes highlighted as it goes because it feels like cheating. So they just want the bar highlighted so they know where they are, or you could turn both of those off. Show staff lines is whether or not you want to see the line below the notes. And then align top of beams is to make all the tops of the beams the same height. Now this is a little buggy in version 1, and I hope to fix that in future versions, but that's why there's an asterisk here. And finally, you can choose how many bars per line. So if you're on an iPad, you might want to display 2 bars per line, or flex, which fits as many as it can onto each line. So the subscription, I know a lot of people don't like subscriptions, but I tried to make it pretty reasonable price so that I can essentially continue to develop this app and add new features. I have lots of features I want to add, including the ability to print to PDF, and the subscriptions are what makes that possible. Up here, you've got the zoom button, so you can zoom in and out. And finally, you have the share button up here, so you can share the pattern that you've created via link or QR code. So you could put this QR code of a specific exercise on a video or for a student, and they could scan it. It will take them to somewhere where they can install it. If they already have Rhythm Generator installed, it will just open this preset in their app. And you can also share with PolyNome. So if you have PolyNome installed, you can open the random rhythm that's been created in PolyNome. And as I mentioned, save as PDF is coming in a future version. So that was a super fast run through. I hope you'll have as much fun playing with this app as I've had developing it. And I hope that you will subscribe and help me keep moving this forward. Thanks for watching, and enjoy practicing.